So recently, the Roblox developers behind Forsaken finally gave the players an official update on what's been happening behind the scenes, and what they tweeted has sparked a lot of backlash. In their announcement, they wrote, "With help from Soul, Forsaken has returned to the development team. Basil and Hitoko will still be leading the game. Harriet and his team have been removed." At first glance, this might seem like progress, but that one line, "with help from Soul," led a lot of players to believe that Soul is currently rejoining the development team. It didn't help that a developer for an entirely different Roblox game followed up with Hitoko's tweet claiming that Soul was a victim, essentially helping Soul by giving him a platform. And honestly, I think that's insane, considering the horrible things that Soul's been accused of and even admitted to. In this video, I'm going to clarify the entire situation and explain what's really happening. But before we get into it, please make sure to like, subscribe, and watch until the end, because I go over everything in this video, including what's basically an interview with Hitoko that reveals some interesting things that I missed in my previous video. To fully understand why this new announcement caused so much backlash, let's quickly recap everything that led up to this moment, because Forsaken isn't just another Roblox developer drama, it's one of the most disturbing dramas the platform has seen in years. The original creator of Forsaken, Soul-Driven Love, also known as Robotic Developer, was exposed in a 40-minute long video filled with serious accusations, including sharing images of a 16-year-old in front of other minors in a Discord server, catfishing victims, manipulating them emotionally, and threatening to reshare those images as blackmail, defending and platforming, including a Forsaken developer named Stoppy Blue, who was known for disturbing child-related roleplay and only removing him when public backlash forced action. They were also financially supporting a hate crime perpetrator named Fungus, a teenager who attempted to someone in a racially motivated using money earned from Forsaken to fund that type of behavior. They also created and inserted content of a victim's character into a modded game, which Soul admitted could be considered. They also drove victims to hospitalization, including one person who was manipulated by them under two separate accounts, one where he harassed her and one where he pretended to be a friend. Despite all of this, Soul publicly claimed that he changed, but leaked DMs told a completely different story. He admitted that he had not changed and never changed, called himself a monster, and confessed to betraying his team by secretly selling the game behind their backs for personal gain. Then came the PR stunt. The Forsaken dev team, Basil and Hitoko, announced that Soul had stepped down and the game was now under their control. But behind the scenes, leaked chat logs told a very different story. The ownership transfer was faked originally to claim public outrage. Soul's girlfriend Ava, also known as Star-Driven Love, admitted that Soul was still involved and that the whole handoff was to prove that Soul was taking accountability. In reality, at least back then, he never left. Things got worse. It was revealed that Soul paid 6,000 Robux to access a Roblox condo game that included a feature. Not only did he buy the Game Pass, he also kept it in his account for years, only deleting it when people started finding out. Even after all of this, some developers across numerous games tried to defend Soul publicly, framing him as a misunderstood victim rather than someone who admitted to doing harm. That's why this new update, saying that Forsaken is back with help from Soul, isn't just frustrating, it's deeply concerning. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly what that means. Now, let's talk about Basil, one of the lead developers currently running Forsaken, in a series of tweets she posted just a few days ago that stirred even more confusion around Soul's involvement. 3 days ago, Basil made a public announcement regarding the Earth Day charity event Forsaken ran earlier this year. In her tweet, she stated, "In total, we grossed around 17 million Robux in sales for the Game Pass, which equates to around 60,000 US dollars. The two charities we chose to split the funds between and donate to were the Nature Conservancy and the World Wildlife Fund, both which have a 4-star charity rating." That all sounds fine, but then Basil added that $12,487 in extra donations came from Soul's own pockets and thanked her directly. And that's where things started to spiral. A lot of people, including victims of Soul's past, felt that the tweet crossed the line by praising her for her generosity, especially after everything that's been exposed, including the manipulation of minors, sharing, and staging a fake ownership transfer. The idea of thanking Soul, even in a charity context, felt incredibly tone-deaf. It didn't take long for the backlash to roll in. Victims reached out to Basil privately, others called her out publicly. One tweet in particular said, "Basil, please stop praising Soul for what they are doing now. They are literally just hoping that all this money they're donating makes you guys change your mind and let them back in." Shortly after, Basil deleted the original tweet and reworded the announcement in the Forsaken Discord server. She followed up with this message, Went ahead and removed my tweet about the charity stuff alongside reworded the announcement on Discord. Too much banter for the day, but thank you to the folks who reached out, especially victims, and clarified things. To her credit, Basil did acknowledge the mistake, but the situation didn't stop there. When people continued questioning the dev team's stance on Soul, Basil replied again, and this time with a much more stronger message. We already made it clear to everyone alongside Soul themselves that we don't want them associating with Forsaken whatsoever. There are no plans to bring them back. They are going away permanently, and none of us developers are interested in working with them again. She followed that up with another tweet frustrated by the accusations that the developers were spineless. All us developers were the ones who made it clear to Soul in the first place that we don't want to work with them. We would have ditched Forsaken if things didn't go the way we wanted. Some of us were literally terrified of the idea of them staying. That's why the Those Who Know Studio group exists. All the lead developers were in that group. We were fully prepared to jump ship if this went the wrong way. I don't blame people for assuming things because a lot of this happened behind the scenes, but man, I really wish people would understand the stress we've been through. Honestly, that last part hits hard because regardless of how poorly worded the original Cherry tweet was, it's clear that the current team was under a lot of pressure. They were navigating a legal mess, a public scandal, and a risk of losing everything they worked on, all while trying to do the right thing. But it also shows how fragile trust is right now. One slip up, one poorly phrased thank you, and suddenly it feels like Soul is being platformed all over again, even if it's not what the devs intended. Shortly after Basil's post, Hitoko, the other lead developer of Forsaken, made a tweet of his own, and while it was meant to clarify the situation, it actually ended up sparking even more confusion. Here's what he said. After 3 to 4 weeks with help from Soul, Forsaken has returned to the development team. Basil and I will still be leading the game going forward, and progress will speed up substantially. Now that the legal stuff is finished, Parrot and his team have been removed. He followed up by saying, while I can't go into too much detail, the outcome of this would not have been possible had Soul not stepped in to help us get all this sorted. There is a lot that they want to speak about, and they will with time. They have a lot to say and will sometime soon. Soul has told us that they will not be returning to the project. Ownership is Basil's and mine. Just to clarify, Soul will not be returning to the project. Now, the intention might have been to reassure people, but it did the exact opposite. The tweet set off alarms across the community. That one line, with help from Soul,